بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم أما بعد قال تعالى وفوض أمري إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد فوقاه الله سيئات ما مكروا. This topic which is carrying on from before, Allama Nawawi Rahmatullahi Alayhi has explained have hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, have fear in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he's explaining the hadith of having hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and what is the benefits and what is the virtues of having hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and what will be the results if you have hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How will you benefit from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And Surah Ghafir, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned one person that had iman with him. He propagated iman and gave da'wah to somebody. He was a pious person. But those people who he propagated the deen to them, explained them the deen, they started harming him, and he started giving him warnings and putting him into difficulties there. And they even punished him in something. So in reply to that, this person never retaliated anything, but he said, I've handed over my whole affairs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah knows exactly what is in my heart and what I have done. So now if a person knows that if he handed over his affairs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah knows exactly what he has done, what is in his heart, what is his intention, and what did he do. Allah knows everything. So in that case here now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will look after him and solve his problem in such a way that he won't be at a loss. So here also when this person handed over his things to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah ta'ala saved him from all the evils of the people who opposed him and all the difficulties which they gave him also. He saved himself from all the difficulties also. So when a person hand over his matters to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah ta'ala helps the person come out of the problem. But once you take the responsibility upon yourself and you start attending to yourself, then Allah leave it to you to attend to whatever you are doing. Yeah, you can understand there's one incident of Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu and Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. One day they were sitting at one place, and one person who was the enemy of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was talking bad and talking bad language against Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was quiet. He never gave any reply. Hazrat Abu Bakr also kept quiet, but after some time he couldn't bear it. Hazrat Abu Bakr answered him. And as Abu Bakr after answering him, Nabi Kareem sallallahu left that place and went away from there. When Nabi Kareem sallallahu went away, Hazrat Abu Bakr, where is going to sit there? He also started following Nabi Kareem sallallahu. Asked Nabi Kareem, why did you leave from here? I couldn't understand. All the time I was talking bad of you, using bad language against you, and you were just sitting quietly, you were just smiling. I mean, I just answered him a little bit to keep him quiet, and you walked away from there. So Nabi Kareem sallallahu replied to him that as long as we are quiet and you are not retaliating, Allah was supporting us. Allah sent down angels to defend us. But when you started defending yourself, that angels went away and said, now if you are defending yourself, what must we do here? And the angels went away, then some said, what must I do? And angels are gone from there also. So when I hand over our affairs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah ta'ala definitely helps us out and come out of that problem. And from this ayat we come to understand that in our lives we do find people who oppose us, people who are our enemies also, and they behave with us in that manner, and without any cause, without any reason, they try to hurt you, to harm you, or to disgrace you, or spoil your reputation. Especially people who are servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and propagating the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the people, we find this happening more with them. And the people don't accept whatever they are saying. And they think them to be their opponents, and they start hurting them, harming them, using bad language against them, all this thing. So at that time you could have hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, hand over the matter to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah ta'ala will help you in the cause of the whole situation, and you won't have to do anything much from your side. And whatever plan the enemies have got, the planning slowly will fail. There's one little poem दुश्मन अगर कभी अस्त मुहाफिज कभी तरस्त. If the enemy is strong, then the supervisor, the muhafiz of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is much more stronger than him. So from here we understand a small little that the person can, no matter how strong he can be, no matter how much of ammunition he can have with him, or how much of power he can have with himself also, what the great support he can have with himself. But that doesn't mean that Allah Ta'ala haven't got power to deal with him. Allah got more power than him also. That no matter how much support he's got, Allah Ta'ala is much more stronger than that, and Allah Ta'ala can take him to task. And whatever planning he's got, his planning will fail, and with the result, Allah will save you from that disgrace also at the same time. So just now, in other words, these are part of our iman, which we could have within ourselves, our imaniyat, our full confidence trust must be in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Have confidence trust in the powers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how great Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, how powerful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, how Allah ta'ala can help us out of our problems. The more you have this within yourself, the more you'll find that the iman increasing more and more, and according to that iman of yours, Allah ta'ala will deal with you and help you out. Here in the hadith where Abu Hurairah narrates from the Nabi Karim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, in other words, this hadith is a Qudsi, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that what type of hopes you have against me, Allah ta'ala says, what type of hopes you have against me, I will deal according to that with you. And I am with my servant as long as he remembers me. As long as you remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is with you at all the time. And the qasam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, both of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so happy with the tawbah of his person, that much more happy than a person whose animal is lost in the jungle, and he cannot find his animal, and all of a sudden when he finds his animal, how happy does he get? So Allah Ta'ala gets more happy than that also if a person turns towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, makes tawbah and turn towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Nabi Karim Sallallahu says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when a person comes towards me one hand span, then I turn towards him one hand span. And when the person turns towards me one hand, then I turn towards him with 4 hands. And when the person comes walking towards me, I go towards him running. Imagine this, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has explained this hadith, that how he is contact with the banda, with the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first thing mentioned here is part of this topic which is getting on here. And have hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and what are the virtues and benefits having hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whatever happens in our lives, all that is connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah knows what is happening now in our lives. And whatever intentions we have also, that also Allah Ta'ala knows about it. And according to that, Allah Ta'ala deals with the person. How much of confidence you got in Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, how much you hand over your matters to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, according to that degree, Allah Ta'ala will help you out also, in other words. Many people will find they hand over all their affairs to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala without looking for any means how to do things. Then Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala becomes so kind towards them that Allah Ta'ala fulfills their need also without any means also. And like how other people, when they go to do something, they have to go under a lot of stress, lot of difficulties, lot of problem. His work get done without any problem. And people become awestruck. How come this person, he achieved this thing here without much effort, and we had to make so much effort to achieve this thing here? Because this person hand over his affairs to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So what is trying to explain here is that concerning our rozi, how we have hopes in Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, that's how Allah Ta'ala is going to deal with us and provide our sustenance to us also. So we got to have that confidence and trust in Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala at all times. And Allah Ta'ala knows the condition of our hearts more better than us also. If a person in his heart has got some doubts, and with his tongue he speaks things of confidence to the people, then you can imagine how will Allah deal with that person. We find nowadays, people also that let to speak, use eloquent words, and it's very beautiful. They try to impress people. They use words to impress people. And when they talk to the people get affected with whatever they speak, and they believe them whatever speaking. But what is in the heart, they don't know about it. And how that person will dream down afterwards, that also he doesn't know about it. But with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's not like that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what is in the heart. No matter how you can speak with your tongue, but at the same time, what is in the heart, Allah knows of that also. So you cannot hide anything from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will deal with you what is in your heart, not how you are speaking. So how you have the trust and confidence in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, according to that degree Allah ta'ala is going to deal with you, help you also, and support you also. Like for example, a person says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will definitely give me rosy if I make an effort. Now when you're going to make an effort, definitely you won't get rosy. Allah is going to give you this rosy, definitely. And another person says, I have full confidence and I have trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Without effort, Allah is going to give me something also. Allah will feed me also. Then definitely Allah will feed that person also. And we find in there, Hazrat explained, there's one person in Congo, he said that whatever it is, I'm only going to eat desi fowl. What is called desi fowl? No, not this much. Huh? Free range chicken I'm going to eat only. I'm going to eat anything. Allah will feed me, Allah will give me this, whatever it is. So you see, I had to undergo a lot of difficulties for a few months. He never eat, never get food, never nothing. So no, Allah will give me. Allah will definitely give me. After the exam was over, and every day she get one free chicken she get to eat. But he had to prove himself that what is needed. So how you got to contact with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Contact with Allah ta'ala will help you out. One incident says that one person, he was a druggie. And this person one day came, asked the person, give me some money for drugs. Thirst. What is thirst? The type of the tobacco kind of thing, whatever. So then the person said, how can I give money for that, man? I said, no. The rosy Allah will give me. For the drugs Allah won't give me. For rosy Allah will give me for drugs, man. So no, how can I do that, man? Then after he said, let me just give him, see what happens, man. So he's saying such words, he's saying that Allah will give him food, Allah will provide for him, Allah will give him rosy. Let me see what's happening now. So he gave him some money. And so and he started following, see what he's doing. He started following him, and he saw that he went somewhere and he was going through a road where there was some wedding. On one side, there were men being fed, on one side of the road, women were being fed. And the food was being cooked by the men's side was. And the people were taking food from here to the ladies' side, that side. So this one person went there while waiting the food, he tripped and the food fell onto the ground. So that was took whatever food was left in the tray, put everything on the ground and we fed other food from that side. Just the druggie went there, he saw the food, he started eating the food now. Say, Allah, you are so kind to me. And you give me food without asking you give me food, you provide food for me, everything. But I don't know what's wrong today, that you look like you are angry with me because I have done something wrong against you. They now give me food in the plate today. So it shows how the person, how deals with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's how Allah ta'ala deals with the person also. But how much confidence and trust you in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, according to that Allah ta'ala is going to deal with you also. Allah is going to deal with you also. So for druggie, Allah ta'ala give him provide for him food in that manner. Then what about ordinary people? When they are more obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah ta'ala definitely provide for them also. Like he normally gives an example, he say, for example, in a house you'll find there are children. At the same time, there's a small baby also will find now. The small baby, what happens? The small baby can't eat food itself. The mother will give milk to the baby. Whenever the baby wants milk, the mother will give milk to the baby. The baby needs to be changed, the mother will change the baby. Mother will clothe the baby. Mother will bath the baby. Everything, every requirement of the baby, the mother will do everything. The parents will look after the baby, everything. Now when the child starts growing a little bit bigger now, then after it now, the attention to the child will be a little less, will change now a little bit. And as the child grows bigger and bigger, then his love for his parents gets more and more, because they were doing this for him from small, and he got hopes, my parents will do everything for me. And according to that hope, the parents do for him. They love him and they do things for him. The same manner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just example to explain that, you can understand from here. If we turn completely towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then definitely Allah ta'ala will look after us also, and Allah will fulfill our needs also. As we grow bigger, whatever our needs increase more and more, Allah will arrange for all our needs according to that. And at many times, whatever we have confusion within ourselves, and we think that now that I am working I'm supporting so many children, I'm supporting my wife, I'm supporting this, I'm doing that. This type of an attitude is not correct at all. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has looked after you. Allah, and it comes one hadith also, Allah ta'ala said that because of the weaker people in your family who are under you, because of them I give you rosy. So you can't say I do everything. Once if you get sick, what happens now? You can't go to work, what happens that day now? Or if something else happened, what you can meet up an accident now, what are you going to do now? So it shows Allah ta'ala provide for everybody. So you must be very careful how we speak and what we speak. You can't say I'm doing everything because of me I'm supporting so many people. No, it's because of the weak people who are under you, the sick who are under you, the old people who are under you. Because of them Allah is providing food for you. So you mustn't think that now that I'm supporting my children, I'm working very hard and doing it. No, Allah Ta'ala is giving you so much to look after your family. Sometimes you'll find two people working the same day working. And in fact one person works more harder than the next person. But the first person, he gets more sustenance, and the second person, he gets more sustenance. What is it? But the sustenance is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The distribution of sustenance is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the promise which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, that promise is completely true and will come according to that. So Allah ta'ala knows the condition of everybody's hearts. What is in the heart, Allah knows the conditions, and according to that, Allah ta'ala will make a decision according to that. So a little bit of test you could undergo sometime. Allah will test you for a little bit to say how much you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how much of love and confidence got in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what you're professing with your tongue, if you got that in your heart also or not. And once that thing you pass the test, then after that things just open up according to that, it opens up. But you will have to go under a test to prove yourself that whatever I'm saying is in my heart also, there's reality in it. Some people have a little bit other confusion, other type of confusion they have also. Some people, they say, I'll go to certain buzuruk or certain alim, I can make dua and nothing will get done. Or some people say, no, I'll go to the cover, for example, I'll put a sheet over the cover on agarbatti, I'll make dua and everything will get done, whatever it is. So this person, according to how his intention is, Allah will fulfill the intention, definitely. So much so, some side the person who worships the idols also, and asks from the idol also, then also his wishes get fulfilled. But it mustn't be under the misconception, it must be under the dhokha now, that because he's asking from the grave or he's asking from an idol, his things are getting done. It's not that. This thing is just like a test for the person, and how a person thinks. According to Allah Ta'ala fulfills the requirements of the person. But in reality, is Allah Ta'ala fulfilling it, not that person in the grave or the pious person, whatever, is not fulfilling the thing. Allah Ta'ala according to what is got in his mind, Allah Ta'ala fulfills this thing, and he thinks now that the person of the grave is fulfilling everything. It's not that. So to bring our aqidah, our belief correct also is very, very important. We find many incidents of this type in the kitab also, where people had misconception. And with the result, for a certain time, they did whatever they wanted to do. But after what happened, then everything turned the other way around, and with the result, then they lost everything. So it shows that our aqidah, our belief must be correct, that whatever sustenance is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will provide for us. But He'll make means, different people as means for us to get our sustenance. The person got to work to earn something. So got to make an effort to earn something. A person do service to somebody and then he gets something sometime. So whatever way it is, you got to make a little bit of effort to earn to get something. And if you are very kind to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are very making a lot of ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you become the beloved of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then sometime without working, without asking also, Allah provide for you after that also. So that is the system of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like we know that incident where there was one person, one Israel, who had a very long life, and he was staying on a mountain, and in the mountain there was a tree, Allah created one tree, a tree of pomegranate, and there was a spring of water there also. So if you use the water of the spring, make wuzu also, drink also that water also, and Allah made such that the tree should have one pomegranate in the morning and one should come in the evening. So you eat the pomegranate and live like that. So he had no sicknesses, nothing. So this was the fazl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on him. Because he was making ibadat, whole day making ibadat only, and thus Allah provided sustenance in this manner. But when he passed away, then he thought, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of my fazl and my kindness, go to Jannat now. So this person was thinking to himself, I did so much of ibadat for so many years. I made ibadat. What about all that? Allah Ta'ala can just know take account of that. He might get more happy with me and give me a better place in Jannat also. When this thought came to his mind, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala said that, alright, if you want to take account of the deeds, then tell me now, I gave birth to you. What ibadat did you make I gave birth for you? I gave you sight. What ibadat will give you replacement for that? I gave you hearing, I gave you speech, I gave you digestion, I gave you such a long life, I gave you. Allah will count all the ni'mats for him that normally the person don't have such a long life also. So what ibadat you will give replacement for that? When Allah started counting all the ni'mats, he just said, Ya Allah, please forgive me, I made a big mistake. Because of your fazl and kindness, put me in Jannah. So we have the type of hopes we have in Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. According to that, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will deal with us also. That's why Allah said, how are you going to think of me? How are you going to remember me? That's how I'm going to be with you. So which place, wherever a person will remember Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, whether a person will remember Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala in a dark, in a corner somewhere, in a plane, in the air somewhere, or in a submarine, in the water down, or in a shop, or wherever a person can be. Wherever you remember Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Allah is there to remember all the time. As Yunus alayhi salam was in the stomach of the fish, in the bottom of the water, he remembered Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala there. Allah was there with him also. So however you're going to remember Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Allah is there to look after you. We find in Fazail Amal also, there's one incident written there, that one person, he was like a porter. He had an animal with him to help people to transport goods. One person came as a customer by him. He couldn't go to a certain place. He can take me. I'll take you no place. When he came to a crossroads, he said, let's go on this crossroad here. Go or turn on the right from here going. He said, no, I don't know this road. I know straight road only. No, I know the road. I will many times on the road. I'll take you the shorter road will be. So he listened to him and he went. When the road came to an end, and he said, sorry, a lot of dead bodies were lying around there. I said, what's going to happen now? So that person said, he took out his dagger to kill him. He said, first let's read 2 rakat namaz and do whatever you want to do. First he told him, take the goods, take the animal, whatever it is. No, I'll take everything, whatever it is. I'll take your life also. So he said, let me read 2 rakat namaz. So many people, all his body lying there, all the 2 rakat namaz, and nothing happened to them. So he started reading namaz. When he read namaz, he started reading such a surat in namaz, where Allah Ta'ala's help came towards him, running towards him. A person came on a horse with a dagger in his hand, and he killed that person, the thief who was there. And after that, when the thief was killed, then this person, when he finished namaz, asked him that, who are you and how did you come here? He said, I am the person who you are calling for help. So I came to your help. I came to your help now, and go home safely now. So how is our contact with Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala? How we got hopes in Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala? According to that, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will help us out also. Our belief is very, very important. What degree of belief you got, according to that, Allah Ta'ala will help us out also, in other words. So furthermore in the hadith mentioned that Allah Ta'ala, Nabi Karim subjects in custom on Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, that person makes tawbah to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Allah Ta'ala is very happy when a person makes tawbah to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Like a person who is in the jungle, and his animal, on which all his possessions was on the animal, his food, everything was on the animal, and the animal get lost, then how will that person feel now? How is going to carry on with his journey now? The animal is lost. He looks for the animal. He can't find the animal. He gets exhausted now. After he come back to the spot where he fastened the animal, and now he lies down and said, now only death will take away this problem from me, then nothing else. Because I can't travel without an animal, and I got no food to eat to survive also, and I just leave everything in the hands of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And he fell off to sleep. After that, when he woke up, he saw the animal in front of him there. Not because of happiness, he couldn't use the right words. Because happiness, he said that, oh Allah, you are my servant, I am your Rabb. The opposite how he said. But that was not because he did it purposely, but because of happiness, he never knew what he was speaking. Understand? So because of the happiness. So Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala says that the person come back towards me, makes tawbah and come back to me, I get even more happy than how this person is in happiness. So tawbah actually means that now you have turned away from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, now you're coming back to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. You're off track, you're coming on track now. how to make tawbah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and coming back into the custody of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the mercy and help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So yeah, Nabi Kareem Sallallahu saying that this person, how much happiness he achieved by finding that an animal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gets even more happy by a person turning towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He makes a guna and he breaks his relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and now restored his relation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by making tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala gets even more happy with this person. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks Allah ta'ala for forgiveness, when Allah ta'ala forgives you, and there isn't much time, straight away Allah ta'ala forgives the person. And you can benefit from all the ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immediately once your tawbah has been accepted. But in the world, if we hurt somebody and we try to ask them for forgiveness, whether it can be our parents, our staff, whoever boss where you work for, employee where you work for, whatever it is, they will forgive us, but at the same time, they will tell us also, you did this also, you hurt us like this, you did that. They make him ashamed also at the same time. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is nothing like that. Allah will never put you to shame and say that you make tawbah first already, now why make tawbah again second time? Allah Ta'ala says, no, again I will forgive you for the same honor and respect. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala won't even remind you of the previous guna you made. On the previous tawbah you made, Allah will remind you of that also. Allah forgives your sins immediately, with the result that you can benefit from all the ni'mats, all goodness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immediately after the tawbah you are benefiting. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so kind towards us, then why must we not be turned towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? When Allah ta'ala is waiting for us to turn towards Him, and then we don't turn towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then who is more foolish than us? How Allah ta'ala portrays this, and how Allah ta'ala is waiting for us. Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the person who comes one hand span towards me, I come one hand towards him, I come towards him. The person who comes one hand towards me, I'll come from 4 hands, I'll come towards him. And the person who runs towards me, and the person comes walking towards me, I'll come running towards him. So just a little bit of an effort to turn towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is so kind to embrace you in His mercies. Like for example, if you find a small child, the child is about to start to walk, he walks 1-2 steps, what the parents do? They immediately catch him. No, you did a very good performance, you did very much. And next time you must walk 1-2 steps extra a little bit. So because of the love, they get happy. The same way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also, when you go a little bit towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah ta'ala gets very happy also. So here in the hadith is used the word ba, that both hands. Does a span from here to here is one span. And you got our hand, you put the hands from here to here, you'll find there will be 2 spans always. So it is called not 2 spans and 2 spans here. And when you put hands together, it becomes 8 spans. So Allah is so happy to embrace you and to provide for you all the ni'mats which are waiting for you. So the delays from outside that we don't turn towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what is trying to explain here in Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always waiting for us to turn towards Him. So the quicker we turn towards Him, the quicker we benefit from the mercies and kindness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when Allah is so kind towards us, then why must we not turn towards Him? Why must we delay in turning towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? In a world, you go to somebody to ask them something, they might give you first time, second time, third time. Go to 4th time, 5th time, somebody made a habit of coming to me now. What's happening now? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not like that. The more you make tawbah, the more Allah ta'ala is happy. The more Allah ta'ala bless you with ni'mats. And Allah ta'ala never turn away from you also. So this is Hadith al-Qudsi, which Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has mentioned there. So if we ponder over this one hadith again and again, and try to understand this hadith again and again, we find how strong our iman will become, and with that all our difficulties will get solved because of that. So it's the only thing we have to ponder over the hadith of Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Then slowly when our iman comes to such an extent, then you will find that all your problems will get sorted out slowly, inshallah. Another hadith here, Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam explains, Hazrat Jabir Radhiyallahu says that 3 days before Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam passed away, Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us that the death mustn't come to somebody in such a condition, but that he has good hopes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also, whenever death comes, you must die in such a way that you have good hopes for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't die with bad hopes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't die with bad feeling of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Always when you leave the world, be sure that you leave the world with a good thought of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that man habba liqa Allah habba Allah liqahu. And that the person who loves to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah also loves to meet him also. So here, when this was mentioned, that Aisha radiallahu ta'ala asked Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam that everybody don't like death. People in the name of death, they get frightened, don't love extra in the world. And although we know that to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, death is a bridge for us to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in spite of that, the person naturally doesn't like death so much. So this becomes very difficult for a person when pass away. So Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied and told her, this is not the situation. When the person, a mu'min, is about to leave the world, then Allah Ta'ala put the thought of the akhirat more in him. He feels that urge in him that how can I meet my Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why you find many places when a person is about to die, the angels come and show him his place in Jannah. So you get happy that I've found a place in Jannah already now. So this hope, because what hope you got in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how you conduct your life on the surface of the earth, according to Allah Ta'ala will reward you according to that. So when your time comes to leave the world, then Allah Ta'ala bring about this eagerness within yourself that I must go meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept a place in Jannah for everybody. And you've got to achieve that place in Jannah. And sometimes you don't make so much ibadah to achieve that place in Jannah. So what Allah Ta'ala do? Put you some difficulties. Put you some sickness, whatever it is. Now make sabr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah Ta'ala forgive all the sins of yours and make it easy for you to achieve the place in Jannah. So the sickness also and difficulties also in one aspect is a rahmat for the mu'minin, that it cleanses a person to achieve his place in Jannah in other words. So in whatever condition we are, we shouldn't lose hope in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm always happy to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In other words, a person who's got iman in him, that person will never commit any big guna. Whenever he commits a big guna, he will tawbah immediately. He won't sit at ease after the big guna he makes. So that shows that person now is always close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when a person said La ilaha illallah, what does it mean? It means that now you have accepted every command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You fulfill every command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you fulfill every command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You love to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala loves to meet you also in other words. In one place it must mention the hadith, the Nabi Kareem sallallahu was in the room and told Sahaba, the only Muslims in there, now there was no munafiqin. Then there is no mu'min here. They close the door. Then some steps said, with sincerity, point the finger towards the sky and say, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. When they point the fingers towards hands, and when said that, the Nabi said, now all of you are going to go to Jannah now. So they give this witness with sincerity, you're going to go to Jannah. In other words, you have accepted Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as your Rabb. Now you're not going to commit any guna after that now. Now you're going to do what Allah tells you to do, you're going to commit. So now, according to that, you're going to go to Jannah in other words now. So the more we read the kalima, the more we understand the demands of the kalima, the more we are coming close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we come close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we want to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So yeah, Nabi Kareem said that death mustn't come to a person, but in the form that he is prepared to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, must have a good thought of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And another hadith, Nabi Kareem said that Allah ta'ala deals with the person in such a manner, when death comes close to him, then the person starts thinking good of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also. There was one place, there was one person, one pious person to go once a year to meet the people. When he went there, after meeting the people, one person who was a businessman, he heard that the pious man came in the area, he came to meet the pious man. He sat in his company for a little while. After all went away, he said, I want to talk to you something. So what's the problem? The problem is that when everybody speaks of death, I get very, very hurt. I just feel comfortable when people talk of death. Can you help me come out of this problem? So the Buddha asked him, what work you do? He said that I'm a businessman, I'm a wealthy man. So the Buddha told him, what you must do now? Wherever you find opportunity of taking part in good work, good charitable work, take part in it. So he got very happy. He said, this is within my means, I must do it. Nothing wrong with me now. So he went now. Now wherever he found avenues to take part in good work, build a masjid, look after an orphan, look after a widow, how to build a madrasa, masjid, whatever. He used to take part in all the time. After 1 year, when the Buzurg came back again, now he came back to the Buzurg and told the Buzurg, asked him, what's happening, how are you faring now? He said, now my condition is such that quicker death come to me, the better it is now. I'm waiting for death to come now. Then told him, how did this change took place? I never did any mujahada, I never did any wazifa, nothing. How does change took place? He said, but your purpose of achieve what you want, whatever. He said, no, I want to understand how this thing happened. I can't understand. So Buzurg told him the rule of the world is that whatever you do, whatever effort you make, whatever you get in that return of that effort, you have love for that thing. You like to be next to you all the time. You work, for example, when you got your wages now, what the wages now, you want not to take benefit from the wages now. You want to throw it away in the street anywhere, but you want to take benefit from it now. If you got no car, you'll buy a car now. If you got no home, you start buying a home for yourself. If you haven't got certain clothes, you start buying your clothes for yourself. You want to take benefit from those things there now. Now you won't use a taxi or you won't use a rented house, anything, but you'll take benefit from whatever you have earned from there. And understood this rule of nature, then from there it's easy for you to understand now that when you were in the first, you were only utilizing your wealth in this world only. So your heart was attached to the world all the time. Now you start spending whatever the world for the year after. So now your heart wants to see what you do spend the year after. I want to see what are they doing the year after. That's why heart is turning towards the year after now. Not in this world now. And how have the command of the thought of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in you, this is how Allah is going to behave with you also at the same time. So if you're going to prepare for the year after, then the heart will turn towards the year after more. If you're not going to prepare for the year after, then you'll get frightened to die for the year after. So it's important that we try and understand that we got to do something for our year after. That's why Allah has commanded us to read 5 times namaz, read our Quran, be kind to our parents, give zakat, make hajj, keep roza. All the things that they for us for to prepare for our akhirat. When our time comes to live, we want to see, I read so many namaz, I'm going to see the result of it in Jannat now. I read so many roza, I want to see the result of it in Jannat, I want to see it. I read so much tilawat of the Quran, I want to see the result of it in Jannat, I want to see now. For example, I read my Tabarak every night, I want to see how Tabarak is going to help me in my grave now, how namaz is going to help me in my grave now. You feel comfortable to go to meet Allah because you did those things in the world already now. So Allah Ta'ala gives tawfiq of having yaqeen in the words of Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and to practice according to it. And when our time comes, then we also live the world with that good hopes of Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala, and Allah Ta'ala will deal with us according to the good hopes and make our entry to Jannah very easily with full respect also. Right now, you have the Anas narrates from Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala said that, oh human being, that until when you are going to call me and you have hopes from me also, then I'm going to forgive you always. No matter how much gunnah we have made. And I could not worry about it. I don't worry of anybody. I'll forgive all your gunnahs. Oh human being, Allah Ta'ala says, if your gunnah is as much as the skies, then too I'll forgive you. And if your gunnah is as much as the earth, then that also I'll forgive you. And until you don't ascribe partners to me. To show that as long as you've got iman in your heart, you turn towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how much gunnah you made. But the condition is you got to have that regret in your heart and turn towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with sincerity, then Allah ta'ala will help you out. Definitely Allah will forgive all your sins, Allah will forgive. And Allah don't have to ask anybody. Allah don't have to take advice from anybody or make mashwara for anybody. Allah ta'ala has got full rights to forgive all your gunnahs, no matter how much you got. But the condition you got to turn towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes a person thinks, I commit so much of gunnah committed now, and just with Allah Ta'ala to the limit now, how I will get forgiven? So these thoughts are from the shaitan now. So if you give vent to the thoughts of the shaitan, then you are losing out. But if you think what Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has told us, what Allah Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us, then you won't get affected with the thoughts of the shaitan. But you turn towards Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala immediately, make tawbah to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, and have a hope that definitely Allah will forgive my sins. And definitely Allah will forgive all your sins. No matter the sins can be as much as the form of the seas, as much as the earth, as much as the skies, whatever it is, no matter how much sin it can be. But if you've got hope in Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Allah definitely will forgive all your. Dr. Abdul Hayy Sahab Arafi Rahmatullah Alayhi was a Khalifa of Hazrat Tanwir Rahmatullah Alayhi. He say that, to give an example of this, to make us understand, he say that imagine in a town, in a city, where there are thousands of people staying there. and the town is near the sea, for example. So now all the dirt of the town of the people goes into the sea. It goes now, and when one wave comes, it washes all the dirt away and makes it park already. The sea becomes park again. Okay? So it shows no matter how much guna can come, how much dirt can go into the sea will wash everything up, make everything clean again. So in the same manner, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is is more clean than the sea also. Whatever guna you make, Allah will wash away all the gunas of us. And Allah don't ask anybody, take permission from anybody to forgive us. Allah forgive us immediately. Allah will forgive us. So in other words, the sea of rahmat, of forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is much more vast than the sea of the world. So in this world, you mustn't think that I made so much of guna now, what's going to happen to me now? Don't lose hope at all. Because shaitan will put us, the cowardness within yourself, that now I made so much guna, now how is Allah going to forgive me? No, don't fall into the trap of the shaitan. At such a time, you must remember the wording of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and have put courage within yourself. The more we learn the deen, the more we learn how to live. The less we learn the deen, the more difficult it is for us to live. So the more we learn deen, we'll understand how to conduct ourselves. The more we learn the deen, we'll know how to adjust ourselves with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that will bring about that connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and will benefit according to that. And as I said before also, the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is complete 100%. From Allah sent 1% mercy down to earth. Allah sent. That was distributed amongst all the creation of the earth, which you see among them. So 99% of worship of rahmat, mercy, Allah kept by him in the year after. So that 99% we will see how it is displayed on them. We have that hope for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it is important that we try and learn the deen so much that we think according to how the deen taught us to think. If we learn the deen, then we think according to that, we conduct our lives according to that. But if we don't learn the deen, then how are we going to work according to the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? That's why it is important that we follow the guidelines of the Shariat, and that's what will happen when you're going to learn the Shariat. So this topic now is what brought about is concerning what is the result of having hopes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you have hopes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is what will happen. There's one incident written, he said that one person, he was an army general or something, he was a Sunni Muslim, and he was supposed to get married. So his proposal was made was in a Qadiani home. But because he was a Sunni, so he made a condition that, look, I'm a Sunni and I don't allow my wife to go to any Qadiani organization or go to any of the programs, nothing, and she must not demand for that. So they accept there's no problem, she won't demand and she'll stay with whatever it is. He got married, staying with his wife now. And sometime now and then, the Qadian person should come meet him when she go to their house, his in-laws should go to meet him. So one day the Qadian told him that, you know what, that I won't tell you that Qadiani is, the Ghulam Qadiani is a Nabi or whatever it is. I won't tell you all those things there. I won't tell you that he's a last Nabi or whatever it is. But all I can tell you so much, what you must do is make istikhara and see. And Allah will guide you and show that who's the last Nabi. So now, we never realized that this one talk of this person here has changed his life already now. He never realized that. So he thought now that it's very glum istikhara. Made istikhara, in a dream he saw Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani sitting like a Nabi and all people sitting around him. When he woke up now, he went and said, look, I just saw my istikhara and I think he's a Nabi now. And he became a Qadiani, he became. When ulama should just approach him and explain him, she never explained. She said, Islam teaches one big istikhara. Now Allah Ta'ala taught me in a dream that he's a Nabi. How can I go against Allah Ta'ala's thing? So he became a staunch follower of the ulama Qadiani. And this thing carried on. Nobody could make him understand. So much so that one day in the town, Molana Yusuf Sahab Yudani or Rahmatullah, he came there. So he came to hear that a very great alim has come. He said, all the ulama, nobody could help me. What is he going to help me? So let me just take a try and see. So he came to Molana and told Molana, this is what has happened, that I saw in the dream that the Ghulam Qadiani is a Nabi, and that's why I believe in him to be a Nabi. I got a proof from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed me that. So Molana caught his hand and explained to me, said, that remember one thing, the minute you got a doubt in the Naboot of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you are kafir already. So when you had a doubt of Nabi Karim Sallallahu, you had a doubt. What are you going to get in a doubt now? You're only going to get those things what you saw in your dream. When you have hope and confidence in Nabi Karim Sallallahu is the last Nabi, you dream of him, you dream. So when he heard this, immediately he came to his senses. He said, I never ever thought someone would tell me something like that. That the Iman was won already before. I made istikhara already, in other words. So immediately he accepted Iman again and became a Muslim again. So it showed how type of hopes and have what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what types of taluk and what types of Iman we have with the Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That's how Allah Ta'ala is going to deal with us also. So we could make sure that our connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so strong that nothing can deter us and take away us from the guidance Allah has given to us. So daily we should make shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has made us mu'min. Allah has made us mu'min also from the ummah of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Allah has taught us the deen of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Allah has taught us the Quran also. Allah made us reading our namaz also, reading our Quran also, reading our tasbih daily also, making our zikr daily also. The more shukr we make to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all this ni'mat Allah has given to us, the more Allah increases ni'mat and become more firm and strong, and then we see the result of it that you leave the world, inshallah. Allah give us tawfiq for understanding and practicing.